Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different, and if you're turning, welcome back. You know how we do if it doesn't resonate with you. If you're forcing the story to fit, arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. Channel members, if you're part of the High Priestess tier, your next video in the 3-month glow up using Microhabits series will post tonight, so definitely check that out. And if you're interested in channel memberships, that link will be in the description box below. So let's go ahead and let's get started. Taking a step aside. And allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. I'm getting this, okay, so first I'm seeing like this, what do I even want to call this? Okay, so I'm just going to interpret it as like cyclical time. I'm seeing something about grand movements inside of time, and more particularly how these grand movements kind of orient us within our own trajectory. So within our own, like maybe lifetimes. There's something here about a break or resting from some sort of trajectory, and it's a battle that has been waged against something that keeps repeating within cyclical time. So for example, a theme that someone may have in this life that they know they had in a previous life, in a life before that. There's something here that's repetitive that we keep experiencing. There's a little bit of this energy of really focusing on the present, the here and now. We see that whenever we see the Four of Swords. The Four of Swords is always asking us to be more present, and in this present space, what I'm seeing over here is I'm seeing the Six of Cups. We have the Five of Swords representing the battle I just spoke about, this rest period that comes after some sort of battle has been waged. I want to say also that I feel for some of you this is really going to have to do with something addictive, addictions in the classical sense, or addictions in terms of being addicted to a person or being addicted to a particular habit. Here with the Six of Cups, this is going back to a more innocent state. There's also something about the past, returning to the past in some way. One thing I'm noticing inside this this 3-card spread here is it's like this figure is this figure all grown up. Here, it's almost like they're doing this darker, deeper dive into self to figure out how this happened. Whoever this message is for, you may already know how it happened, but it seems like we're going into some very deep spaces of ourself, and we're just looking for any remnants that are still connecting us to this particular story. Whoever's message this is, I'm noticing the amethyst this, in the base of, I have a bunch of stones at the base of this crystal, and the amethyst has never stood out to me during one of my readings. I've never talked about it, but it's standing out to me right now. There's almost this illumination that is divinely inspired that's coming in from someone, quite possibly because they've been working through nervous system healing that allows all of our centers to kind of open up and flow a little bit easier. There's something here that's going on where someone is realizing that they've reached a critical place where they have changed something within their soul story. So we could think of this as like, for example, a soul theme, and someone has just won something in a battle against this soul theme. There are experiences, therefore, that are coming forward that are unlike the experiences that whoever this message is for has ever encountered. And because of this, there's a little bit of trepidation as these new experiences come forward. This can look like, for example, if you have had poverty as part of like most of your stories, which most people have, you know, suddenly overcoming this idea and identification with a poverty mindset or a poverty identity, and allowing yourself to step into a more abundant space. Maybe you're starting to have opportunities that you have to struggle through the feelings of not being qualified for, or feeling like you don't deserve, right? Someone here, it's these little residual energies that we're starting to wrap up in this old story. The story's done, and now we're just kind of doing the hygiene work, right? Cut it? Okay, cut it. And I'm feeling out of breath as I'm doing this reading, I'm noticing. And so when I'm thinking about the energy of feeling out of breath, it's almost like some things within this story wrapping up, they happen quite quickly for somebody. This may have been an ending to this cycle that you were working on for a very long time, but there's something about it here at the ending that happened very quickly. There's also something about change coming so quickly that someone can't catch their breath with it. Here what we have is we have the Nine of Wands. This is where we have something that is basically an obstacle, right? Nine of Wands is the fence that makes good neighbors. And I love to see this when it's with a more positive card, because then it tells me it's about boundaries. It's about a person really working through the space of having their own personal healthy boundaries. When it's paired with the Five of Swords, that's telling me that we have some sort of obstacle or block. Someone has freed themselves from that obstacle or block, because here we have the Fool. And in this Fool space, this renewing, this rejuvenation. Now remember, the Fool also traditionally has that bag on his back that has the pine cone. It represents all the energies that go into seeding our next reality. And someone is returning back to that state where now they're getting to seed their reality. And I think that this pause or this calm or this resting that's happening right now is someone really trying to assess what it is that they want, what it is that they want their tomorrow to look like. You can think of it as the statement, I actually used a statement a few days ago where, some people, their best days were like in the past, like, oh, that was the prime of my life, right? Or that was like that was like my glory days. And whoever this message is for, you're shifting into an energy where you understand your glory days are ahead of you. And you understand that that's how you should be living your life. We have the Queen of Wands showing up in the future position just underneath the Six of Cups. And this is really about the person that takes control of their willpower and finds their direction. The Queen of Wands, I always mention, is the Witch of the Tarot. And so she's able to move the energy. Someone here, you've gone from being at the mercy of this story, of this soul theme, and you've now done the battle, and you've kind of you're clearing up all those loose ties inside of that residual energy. Think of it as like healing the wounds after a battle. And as you heal, you're going to notice that you're able to direct your reality a little bit better. This is definitely manifestor energy, manifesting a new reality for yourself. Okay. So when we have this, okay, so I'm gonna grab the book real fast here. Okay, so again, we have the idea of mythic time, synchronicity. We have all had the experiences of timelessness, of life beyond the ticking of the clock. It may be felt as time standing still, slow motion, or losing track of time on a walk or in a lovely conversation. This is known as mythic time, and it is the territory of Kairos. This card suggests there is a secondary time continuum that goes beyond any earthly clocks and schedules. Within this nonlinear realm, we access divine timing. A single moment ripens with auspiciousness, and our actions change the trajectory of our whole life. Time becomes the living thing that watches over us and tells us precisely when to speak or act. When this card appears, it is about patience and precision. No clock can guide you. Wait for the rush of inner knowing, and not a moment longer. So when I look at this card, I'm also seeing that concept of like the third eye that's creating the reality also. So all these little fractal or like little like compartmentalizations of energy that are being layered upon layered upon layered to create a cohesive whole. There's something here about perception, and a perception that has dramatically shifted whenever this card comes out for me. And again, it's going back into that idea of, I was calling it cyclical time, time on a grand scale that keeps repeating in some way. And now the repetition has changed. I feel that there's something very significant here. And, this is one of those things that I'm going to say that we have no way of actually knowing. But the way that it's feeling to me is that there's four great themes that whoever this message is for, if it's resonating for you, there's four great themes that your soul is undergoing. And the theme that you have just overcome is a theme that you were stuck at for quite a while. And the themes seem to run in parallel to elements. I'm not even going to feel into that further. I feel that's all I'm supposed to say about it. For someone, these themes run in parallel to elements. And a deep connection with nature is something, therefore, that is really required for whoever this message is for, because earth brings that grounding, right? It's almost like I'm seeing this as earth, and there's 4 elements here that are very important for somebody's soul themes. So anchoring into the element of whatever theme you realize is coming next, or whatever theme you wind up finding yourself in, is really going to help you understand the lessons of that theme as well. Okay. Okay, so just to go back to this, we have a card coming out that says, Starseed, what lights you up? Okay, some of you, that may resonate for you. What I'm being really drawn to, though, is the image of this little girl being on this cliff and looking out over this ocean. It reminds me very much of the Fool card. And so in the Fool card, we tend to think about just this incarnation, that is spirit coming in, or a soul that's about to be incarnated into the 4 elements of the magician. And in this card, this is giving me that feeling of a cosmic sort of incarnation, so being incarnated into the grand time scheme. And there's something here about water that's very important for somebody, whoever this message is for. Doesn't mean that you love to sit by the water. It doesn't mean that you like being around the water. Maybe you have a past life memory where there's water, or you believe that you came from a place that was filled with a lot of water. Okay, especially if you resonate as a starseed. But water is very important, and so studying water, studying the structure of water, how that structure can change, might be really important for somebody. You may also be entering a soul theme that has something to do with the element of water. Okay, here what we have is align your life, what needs aligned or needs changed. And this is definitely something that whoever this message is for, you've been working on this. And this is saying to me that that's what you're going through right now, is getting rid of those last vestiges of things that are not truly you. They're not speaking to your authenticity. They have no place left in your life. And in this way, it's like this idea of ourself, these different identities that maybe we've adopted, will start to make them into a cohesive whole. When we have that cohesion, that's the space out of which we can manifest, because we don't have this desire that's working at cross purposes to these beliefs, right? They're all in alignment. And when we have that alignment, when we pick the things that we truly want for ourselves, not the things that we think we deserve or the things that we think are the best that we can get, when we pick the things that we really, 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 really deep down inside our soul want, this is where we experience this sort of gift. I know somebody who calls it gift of psyche, right? Where the mind's like, oh yeah, like we're on board with this. And all of a sudden, everything in your reality starts rolling in that direction. Now, here, this is definitely going to be what someone is doing right now. It's releasing soul patterns, contracts, and past lives. Again, I kind of feel that that's the theme here of this reading, but very specifically, someone here is releasing certain contracts. That's the way it's coming across to me, is contracts. And because they're releasing these particular contracts, there is some sort of transformation that's happening at a deep cellular level. That breathlessness is coming back to me. So some of you focusing on your breathing, right? Deep breathing, making sure that you're rejuvenating like the cells with that air and that oxygen, really developing that relationship with the air that you're breathing, rather than just letting it be something that you do and you never really think about. There's energy in the air that you breathe. There's energy that rejuvenates you as you breathe that air. And being able to take those breaths and start to establish like a relationship with that energy that's flowing through you, and understand how you feel it and how you personally experience it, which might be completely different than how other people tell you you should experience it. There's something about that that's very important at this time for whoever this message is for. Okay, and one more. All right. Okay, the Venom. Now this is a card that really talks to me about destroying certain things. It is something that is running deep in the background, that has the ability to sabotage us, that has the ability to kind of like snuff out the light. And I feel that this is essentially the energy that someone has moved away from. This is probably whatever soul theme someone has wrapped up. This is something that probably had its claws in various areas of your life, and you may not have ever realized it until you came close to the end of cleaning it up. When we have the Venom card, for me, this is like that poison that runs silently. And this is really what this reading is about. It's speaking to a person that has mitigated the damage or the effects of this going forward in the future. Okay, and then the Warrior. It's taken a lot of courage. Being told to cut again. Okay, it's taken a lot of courage for somebody to do this. A lot of courage, and someone in some ways had to learn to instill their own sense of hope. They had to be stubborn to be able to do this. And the stubbornness paid off in this beautiful transformation. It's like a shedding of layers that continuously happened. And I think that whoever this message is for, you probably asked yourself many times, like, God, there's more. And I almost feel that you've settled into this place where you understand that that never stops. The shedding never stops, that we aren't static beings. We're not meant to stay in one place. We're constantly changing and constantly emerging and constantly becoming. Okay. And again, we are ending here with ocean. So again, something about the water. Now, I'm noticing these two are kind of speaking to me similarly. I'm almost seeing that as this venom energy. Okay. And I'm seeing this as this eye through the water. I don't feel that I'm supposed to speak on that. I feel that that's very important for someone, and that whoever that's for, you're going to understand exactly what that's saying to you. I will say that a word is coming through for me, and that is point of, well, 2 words really. Oh, 3 words. Oh, I can't count. Point of origin. Really, the first word was origin, but then I felt like others were attached to it. So point of origin. Okay. So I'm going to leave that there. If this resonates with you, please hit that like button. Feel free to leave me a comment, and until next time.